In this video, I'm going to show you how I learned how to swing like Tiger Woods' 2000 swing by doing the exact opposite of everything that you probably have heard or read or saw on the internet about how to swing a golf club today. So if that's interesting to you and you want to learn what it feels like to swing like Tiger Woods in 2000, take a listen to this video. When tour pros were asked which golf swing they most wish they had, the answer without fail was almost always Tiger Woods, and Billy Horschel even went more specific and said Tiger Woods' 2000 swing. Now, during that era, he had the most dominant year in the history of the game, and it's not hard to see why. When you look at the swing here, tell me what sticks out to you. To me, it's always been how darn simple it looks. It couldn't look any easier. It couldn't look any more effortless. And it couldn't look like he's straining any less than he is in the swing. He makes it look so easy with such few moving parts. And this has led me to spend more than 2 decades studying what it is that allows him to swing so easy with so few moving parts and hit the ball so well and so far. And after all of this time studying the swing, there's one thing conclusively that I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt in my mind, and that is that this swing was the simplest golf swing of all time. It truly was the fewest moving parts humanly possible to still have power, to have control, to have accuracy. And what's interesting to me about it, more than anything, as you can see now that my swing has gotten very, 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 very close to matching it almost identically at the points that it really matters. And really what I'm talking about here are the dynamics of the swing. You can't fake this stuff. The release pattern, the way that the club is naturally moving through the ball, the way that I end up in the follow through, these are all things that are happening much, much too fast to try and fabricate that in slow motion. And that was really the catalyst for me starting to understand just how simple Tiger's swing was, because he didn't learn through mechanics. In fact, he has swung the same way since he was 5 years old. Let me show you. All right, you ready to see something amazing? On the left, I've got Tiger as a 5-year-old. And then on the right here, obviously looks like somewhere, I think he was at Pebble Beach here. So obviously as an adult on the right and basically a toddler on the left. And now watch just how similar their swings are. If we bring them close to the top, we're in almost the exact same position. Now, obviously, baby Tiger's got a flying right elbow here. But as they start, you can notice the lower body position, all of this stuff starting to look very, very similar almost immediately. And then as he starts down, you're like, well, surely the dynamics of the downswing can't be the same because, Tiger's so much more powerful. Oh, really? Well, look at that. You see the old Tiger squat there. Look at the position of the right arm. Look at the hips, the legs. They look pretty darn similar to me. And as we keep moving down, right as we get into the delivery area, take a look at that. Does that look similar to you? Obviously, baby Tiger's pushing really hard off of that right leg there as a kid to try and get some power. But you can see that he ends up in the exact same positions, like almost verbatim. Now, this is very interesting because as a 5-year-old, you shouldn't understand anything about complex golf swing dynamics, how to use your lower body, how to use your arms, how to use the ground for leverage, how to maintain lag. He doesn't understand any of that stuff. And yet, look at his lower body movement. It's better than 99.9% of all the golfers on the planet already as a 5-year-old. How is that possible? Now, I get people emailing me all the time, oh, ignore Tiger's swing. He's a freak. You're never going to swing like him. He's just a one-off. Well, a toddler figured this out, which means, A, it's not something that you can learn through mechanics. Tiger didn't spend hours and hours on video and in front of a mirror trying to perfect these mechanics. There was no Tiger squat kind of thing back then. He did this instinctively, which means it must be a feel that allows him to produce these mechanics. And when I got that through my thick skull, that you can't learn this statically, you can only learn this through a feel, then all of a sudden things started to click. And that's where you saw my swing start to match up so similarly, because really what I'm doing is what Tiger's doing as a 5-year-old here. And I'm going to take this back to the top, because you can learn everything you really need to know about the golf swing from just this one swing of Tiger's. You're going to see not a big hip turn, not a big shoulder turn. He's really just swinging his arms up to the top. And watch right here. This is the magic. As he gets to the top, what's the first thing to move? Is he firing his hips as hard as he can? Doesn't look like it to me. Is he turning his shoulders? What is he doing? He's throwing the club from the top. That's the first thing that he's doing. His lower body isn't doing anything. In fact, his whole body isn't doing anything. Look at the number 8 on his jersey or his shirt here. It's barely moving. His hips, his pant pocket here, barely moving. Shirt barely moving. He's moving his arms and hands. And really, he's moving the club. He's moving the club head. That was the eureka moment for me to understand that the way to feel with the simplest golf swing ever, the most efficient, most productive golf swing ever, was really understanding that you need to feel what every golfer is being told on the planet not to do, which is you need to throw it from the top. That is the secret to understanding how easy it is to actually swing like Tiger. It's way easier than everything else that everybody else is trying to do right now. It's way easier on the body. Of course, he's driving really hard off here, so that wouldn't be so easy on my spine. But the rest of it, you don't need obviously that huge lateral move, and he got rid of that as he got older. But if a 5-year-old can understand this, a 5-year-old can do this, and again, not understand it intellectually. This is an instinctive thing. He wasn't being taught mechanically, oh, you need to do this, and then position the club here, and then transfer your weight here, and then at the same, this stuff's happening too fast. It's way, way, way too fast. And that's when I started to understand I have to think about this completely differently.
Something that may surprise you, but I firmly believe, is that it's impossible to release the club at the top of the downswing too soon as long as you move to your left side.
Now, surely this is just one of those feel versus real things, right? If you go and look online, this quote from Jack Nicklaus has been known for a long, long time. And people will say, well, the reason that he felt that he could throw the club from the top is because he had such powerful leg drive. But I think it was the opposite. I think that Jack had such a powerful leg drive because he threw it from the top. Well, I know that sounds completely outrageous, but it is that exact concept that allowed me to get my swing to so closely match up to Tiger's 2000 swing and to feel so effortless and feel no strain on my body, no strain on my back, and feel speed that I never thought I even had possible, especially at this age. I'm 47 years old now. I've broken so many bones. My neck's fused. I've had countless surgeries. So my body's a wreck, and I want to swing as effortlessly as humanly possible while still not giving up any distance. I love hitting the ball far. That's no secret. So for me to be able to tap into this idea of throwing the club from the top rather than maintaining lag or holding the angle or any of these things that we see all over the place commonly taught today was a complete game changer for me. And in fact, it changed the way I think about the golf swing forever. And that's what allowed me to match up so well to Tiger. And when you look at it in detail, when you look at really what matters when we're actually hitting the ball, the way that the club is working through the hitting area and where we're hitting it in the face. Tiger talks all the time about hitting it dead solid in the center of the face. That's so important for good golf. That happens so much more easily when you stop trying to do a lot of the things that golfers are trying to do, especially when you see all the golf instruction stuff on the internet now. Most of these golf instructors who are shelling out these tips, they certainly don't look like the GOATs. And that's been my study for my whole life. I've been studying the golf swings of the greats. I learned on Jack Nicklaus Golf My Way videotapes. I've been following Tiger swing since he first came out on tour because he makes it look so simple. And it is so simple. And it's the exact opposite of what everybody is trying to do and think about and teach in the golf swing. For me, what I can tell you is this. This is as simple of a golf swing as you can possibly get. And I have done everything. I mean everything. I've had obviously my own ideas about the swing. I've tried every other swing theory out there under the sun. I love to tinker and experiment and try different things and learn things. But what I've really always wanted is just a damn simple golf swing that just works. I want power, I want repeatability, I want consistency, and I want to pure the ball all the time. I don't want to have to work for it. I don't want to pound gazillions of balls. I just want that ball to rocket off the center of the face over and over again, and I want to feel like I did nothing to do it. And the easiest way to do that is with your hands. And that sounds completely contrarian to things that I have thought about in the past. It sounds contrarian to what's commonly taught today about this body swing and putting all this load and stress on your spine. That, for me, is a thing of the past, because the way that the goats swung, the greatest of all time, really had very little to do with their body whatsoever. So here's my proposition to you. If you like Tiger's 2000 swing, and you think that my swing is close, I'm not saying it's exact. It really doesn't matter. It's the overall feel and dynamic of the swing that produces the shot. But you can see that without me trying, I'm not trying to match Tiger position for position here at all. That's the last thing on earth that you can possibly do. The golf swing does not work like that. You have to understand the feel of the golf swing. You have to understand exactly what it is that Tiger is feeling in his swing. And not just Tiger. The greats are all the same. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Bobby Jones, Jack Nicklaus. You're going to see all of them referenced in this video series. So this is my proposal to you. In an hour, I can teach this to you. That's how simple this really is. And think about it for a second. Tiger's swing has always looked so simple. It must be simple. But trying to learn it through positions and mechanics and 3D motion capture and high-speed video and force plates and all those things, it'll only get you so far. What you really need is to know exactly what it feels like. That's the only way to translate this to the golf course, to translate this to speed, is not through mechanics and thinking about your backswing position, the width of your arm here and your pressure shift there and all of those things. You have to know what the whole feel is. And that feel is really just throwing it from the top. So I've put together 5 videos that total a whopping 63 minutes. An hour long, and not all of that is instructional time. Obviously, some of it's just me explaining some things or talking about things. So in less than an hour, I can show you exactly how I feel and how I learned to swing like this. How I learned to swing this close to Tiger Woods' 2000 swing. 5 videos, 60 minutes. So that's the risk that I'm asking you to put forth. Give me an hour of your time and put this to the test. That's it. It's not going to take 60,000 videos or a catalog of instructional content. It's going to take 5 videos, and it really is just 3 videos with a couple of extra stuff. So in less than 60 minutes, I can show you how simple the golf swing really can be, how simple Tiger's 2000 swing really was. You got 60 minutes. You're probably going to spend 60 minutes looking for golf tips on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or something later, but can that person swing this close to Tiger Woods? Can this person teach you how it feels? Because that's the bottom line. Anybody can understand swing mechanics. That's the easy part. Understanding exactly where the club is and what the arm does and the leg does and the timing of all that. We have all these fancy tools. I'm standing on a $25,000 force plate here in my studio. We know all of that stuff. That stuff's easy. It's the creative side. It's the feel side that unless you can do it, you can't teach it. And now that I know what it feels like, I can't look at the golf swing as a mechanical thing anymore. It's really just understanding and grasping this feel. And that's what I'm going to share with you in these 5 videos, is how to feel, how to correctly throw it from the top. And if you can risk 60 minutes of your time and $47, with Bidenomics today, that's maybe a lunch at Chipotle for 2. It's not that much. And you're going to spend that much on a box of balls that you're going to lose anyway. But if you can risk $47 and 60 minutes of your time, I'm going to show you how to swing exactly like this, how simple it can be, how much speed you can generate, how easy and fluid and dynamic the swing really should be. And that's why all these pros talk about it so simple. They don't talk about swing mechanics. They don't talk about, oh, I put the club here and do this and do that. Go and listen to Tiger Woods talk about his golf swing. It's infuriating. Even the tour pros are like, yeah, dude, can you say that in English? He can't make it any simpler because it's truly just a feel-based thing for him. And now it's a feel-based thing for me. And that's what I'm going to share with you in these 5 videos. So go to RotarySwing.com if you want to take a huge risk. Risk 60 minutes of your time and a lunch at Chipotle to see if you can't just get a taste of greatness, to know what it feels like to truly be effortless, feel what your hands are supposed to feel like they're doing in the golf swing, and have a fluid, dynamic swing that is this close to Tiger Woods' 2000 swing.